Hi everyone. My name is Courtney Bohlman, and I want to share a story with you. My story. A part of it anyway. It's a story about belief and empowerment and choice. I was diagnosed with cervical cancer when I was 26 years old. I'm 32 now. This is a type of cancer that can only come from HPV, which is an STD, or now we have started to call it an STI, but that's a story for another time. So I've been experiencing sharp pain. I would wake up with blood between my legs, and I was fainting out of nowhere. And there was one specific time that led me to find answers for myself. I was taking a shower and I experienced the most intense pain I've ever felt in my entire life. And when I woke up, I was laying at the floor of the shower. My head was pulsing because I had hit it when I fell. When I fainted, and I was covered in my own blood. So I finally went to a Western doctor. And after a lot of tests and different procedures and ultrasounds and doctors and all these different things, they discovered that I had 8 cysts on one ovary and I had 12 on the other. And the sharp pain and the fainting and the bleeding, it was all from my cysts pressing into each other and rupturing. The doctor delivered that news to me first, while also expressing that he believed, because of this, that if I didn't have a child within the next 2 years, that I wouldn't be able to be a mother. And for those of you who don't know me well, there's one belief, one thing that I've wanted my entire life, the only thing that I've ever actually known that I wanted, and that was to be a mother. But it's one of those things that I wanted so badly that it created itself into a fear. Many years ago, I just became afraid that I wouldn't be able to be a mother because I wanted it so badly. And for years and years and years, I carried that. Endometriosis runs in my family, and I kept telling myself that I was going to get it and that it was going to be hard to be a child or to have a child. And as I got older and the news and people and everything said, like, your time's running up, your time's running up. And without realizing it, I had taken on this fear and this belief that I wouldn't be able to be a mother one day because I wanted it so badly. And I've come to realize that I pretty highly likely created that issue in my body because I was so afraid that I couldn't be a mother, and that's the fear I kept telling my body, so it created a reason for it to be true. I believed that into existence. But beyond that, while the doctors were discovering these cysts, which was the reason I went to the doctor in the first place, they also discovered something else. They found out that I had unnatural cell growth on my cervix. And so at 26 years old, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. I could not believe it. Me? Cancer? I couldn't understand how it was possible. I ate organic food. I did yoga and meditation every day. I lived in a spiritual community at the time, constantly attending services and doing my work to develop and to grow and to just be more. And I had cancer? I always cared for my body and my being, and it just didn't make sense to me. So I moved through all of the stages: denial, confusion, grief, acceptance. And finally, I gained the strength to say that this would not be my story. So I started treatment right away, which consisted of 4 rounds of cell removal, where they would actually scrape the cancer cells directly off of my cervix. And it was very painful because I couldn't take anything, because I had to be able to feel and let them know how deep they could go into my cervix based on my pain. And it finally reached a point where they couldn't remove any more cells. And so they told me I needed to start chemotherapy. I watched my grandfather disappear and die from chemotherapy when I was a child. And I knew instantly that that was not my path. And thankfully, I'd already been to India and had experienced the healing power of Ayurveda. And I was beginning to really and fully realize the power of belief. And I knew that those things, belief and Ayurveda, that was my answer. So shortly after, I left for India to study and receive this ancient healing modality. I lived at a hospital for months where I just took classes and treatment to learn as much as I could, and I shifted into the power of belief. I refused to say that I had cancer. And you'll notice that when I talk about it, I say that I was diagnosed with cancer. I chose to believe in my body, in Ayurveda, in myself, in my purpose, and that I had more to do on this planet. I would only allow positive and healing thoughts to enter myself. And I knew that I had more to bring to the world. And this, it would not and it could not be the end of my story. I have been and will continue to be cancer-free ever since. Our beliefs, they create our reality. And when you allow yourself to believe something that limits you, you will become that limitation. When you take on a diagnosis, you will become that diagnosis. And I am here to tell you that you can choose for yourself who you are. You can choose health. You can choose wealth. You can choose possibility. You get to choose your life. Your life is your choice. Don't let others tell you how to live and who to be and what's inside of you, inside of your body. You get to decide. You get to decide. I teach these things: Ayurveda, belief, awakening, transformation, yoga, meditation, healing. I teach these things because I have lived and embodied them. I know the power behind our practices, routines, and thoughts to both create and destroy our reality. I will never be a victim again. This is my life, and I am in control. Are you in control of yours? And if the answer is no, and you need some guidance on this path, I would love to share what I have learned with you, because I believe in you. And you are so much more than the limiting beliefs that you carry. Let's work together. Whether that's through an online program or in person at a retreat, all that I want is to help and to wake our world up and to remember our greatness and to be who we are meant to be. It's your choice.